Coach.
All right, Coach, we guys talked about, kind of resetting after that last game. How are you guys doing in that regard? Just getting in the way this week?
Like they always are. They bounce back quick. I mean, they got, again, great character, very strong bond between each other. Obviously very disappointed after a very hard-fought game. To come up short is never easy, but you got to go back to the drawing board. You got to get back on the film, correct, your mistakes, figure out how we need to improve as a football team, and move forward. Because again, you can't let an opponent beat you twice. It's going to be another great week, and in a sense, we're playing a great opponent. And Western, they played in the championship this past year, have played a lot of good ball now, and they're a good team. So going on the road, another great atmosphere. You got to get, got to move forward and make sure that we build our mentality up this week and have the right preparation in order to go play a complete game.
Just how's the team been able to stay focused after the loss? That you're kind of still in conference contention.
Yeah, mature. I mean, you have to have maturity. You have to have, it has to be part of your culture. Guys sticking together, which they have. Again, they've had their backs up against the wall before, and I think through some of those experiences and through your maturity and learning and growing through those, you get through it.
You guys are very much still in this thing. Is that something you talk to your players about?
Absolutely. All our goals are still right there in front of us. The biggest thing, we have to stay focused, and like you also just talked about, I mean, make sure we're moving forward, make sure we're trying to understand the big picture and getting a week better, understanding what we have to improve on, and making sure we focus in on the things that we can control. And right now, that's your next opponent's up, Western Kentucky, who's a dang good football team, and we got to be prepared the right way in order to go into a hostile environment and compete.
You guys kind of view this as an elimination game for the conference title when you got in?
Yeah, again, you never know how these things work out. I wish I had I wish I could tell the future as much as you could, but it just doesn't work like that. I think if you just take it in one game at a time, everything else will take care of itself. I mean, I'm not that smart to look ahead. I got to focus in on one team, one game, and I think that's what's allowed our players to continue to, again, overcome adversity and keep coming in with the right mentality.
You mentioned the Western is a good football team. What is it that impresses you about Western Kentucky?
They're good on all three phases. Obviously, quarterback's playing very well. They got a lot of weapons on the perimeter in the passing game. Dang good running back. Defensively, they're very multiple. They're get in and out of different fronts. They bring good pressures, and they're very talented. Again, they're big up front. D-line's very physical. I think they're number one team in our conference in run defense. They're the number one team, I think, in the nation in turnovers. I mean, they're which has allowed them to win football games. You take care of the football, and you're able to stop the run, play good defense, and what they're doing offensively, it's challenging. So they're a good team.
And then just more focused on Austin Reed. Just what have you seen out of him as a quarterback?
Yeah, tremendous player. I knew of him coming out in the portal, and I thought he's obviously been very competitive through fall camp and learning that system and winning the job. And you can tell he manages the game very well. He's very comfortable, and they use his strengths. And throws the ball extremely well, but they will use him a little bit in the run game. So you have to make sure that you're very disciplined with your eyes, your assignments, your alignment, because he can hurt you there as well.
Your tight ends the two of them are playing really well this year. Does it make you guys a little different, a little more challenging when you can put two guys on the field like that?
You'd have to ask them, but other defenses. But I think they are. They're two really good players, and I think the entire group. I think we have a solid group that comes out and competes each and every week. They love ball, and they're talented. They do a great job for us, and they're a big part of what we're doing offensively. And have been a major factor in our success. So we just got to continue to build on it, and hopefully put together a great game plan this week and go out, compete, and have success.
Yeah, the tight end spot seems to be one that's kind of diminishing in its importance in college football, but the two guys that you guys have seem like complete players. Is that the way you view them, as guys that you can just get out there on the field that can help you in the running game, can help you in the pass game in a lot of different ways?
Yeah, they're multiple, and that's what that's what makes them special. Is there's a lot of guys out there that are really good tight ends that are really good run blockers. There's more. Some guys are more hybrids. They're more slots and play more of the sniffers. And, so there's a lot of different types, but I think their multiplicity. I mean, how multiple they can be. Whether you're flexing them, whether they're in the core, moving them around. I think you can get into a lot of different, not only 12 personnel sets, but 11 and even empty some stuff. And so you're just going to be a lot more multiple what you do offensively, and they're going to have to defend it. It's been good for us. Again, something we'll continue to, hopefully evolve with and continue to grow. They're two good players.
They kind of complement each other.
Yeah, they do. And obviously, you saw Gums this past week. Probably have his biggest game yet. He's extremely strong and physical, but he has great hands and can run, especially for that size. And Jake as well. I mean, he's got great hands. He's a big body, big target, and he comes down with the ball. So, and both of them are really good run blockers. So we just, again, they're very multiple in what they can do, and they've been good for us.
You take a role in coaching them? I know you coached tight ends earlier in your career.
Coach Mays does that. Coach Mays does a great job with that group, holds them accountable. They're a very tight-knit group. And I'll tell you, they do a great job holding each other accountable. And they're very competitive. Again, they love each other, and they love ball. And, he's done a great job building that culture in that room. And they've done a great job of coming out and competing and getting better and growing.
Yeah, well, you coached one of the best tight ends that ever played the game in Gronkowski. Was that fun? And do you have a fun?
I've always enjoyed. I've enjoyed coaching tight ends, running backs. I've had a lot of fun. But that's his group, and if he ever needs my opinion or advice on something, obviously we talk through anything with all our coaches, and so we all help each other grow and we all help each other get better. But he does a dang good job. He doesn't need much of my help. He's done a great job with that group again, and he's a very good coach.
Sean Thomas Falker kind of moved spots last week, and it seems like he's helped you throughout the season here, which is what he's provided. What has he brought to your guys?
Yeah, he's smart. I mean, he understands the defense, knows the defense. Unfortunately, wish we'd had a little bit more knowledge this past week. Kind of got late. He really started getting reps in there around Wednesday because of what happened with the injuries on Tuesday. So, wished he could have had a little bit more time to settle in there throughout the week. But, he's smart. He comes in. He's very, very detailed, works extremely hard, and he's solid, and that's what you need, especially when you've had some of the injuries that we've had. You have to have a smart guy like that that's going to do whatever it takes for us to help his team win.
That's what I was looking for.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
It's good to see you guys. What's up?
Oh, the tough part about being a college quarterback.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it.
No, that's cool. So anyway, you guys looking to kind of reset this week, and how's that going?
Yeah, I think today was actually a really, really good practice for us. Kind of came up with a chip on our shoulder today. Guys were running fast. Guys were locked in, and it's a great start to the week. And so look forward to keeping that intensity throughout the week and into Saturday.
So what was the immediate message after the game on Saturday?
Yeah, obviously it's a tough loss. We got to stay within ourselves, make sure we're still locked in each and every week, and go 1-0 this next week, because we can still get to our goal in the conference championship, but we got to take care of business. So these practices we got to be locked in and make sure we're executing and play good on Saturdays.
Obviously didn't end the way you wanted to, but that last offensive drive y'all had, you were able to go down the field and give yourself a chance to win. What does that do for the offense, confidence specifically?
Yeah, so Yeah, I'll just say I think the defense played, a hell of a first half, and so offensively we've got to, play complementary football to that. So when they're getting big stops, we got to take advantage of those opportunities to where we're up in the beginning of the game. But I'm proud of our guys the way we finished. Gave ourselves a chance to win the ball game, and so that just shows how resilient we are. We're going to fight to the end, and so we did a good job of that. But we got to start faster, so we're not put in that situation.
Do you feel like that game could have gone either way?
Yeah, I feel like at the end it was kind of whoever had the ball last. We were, unfortunately we didn't respond until they did something. So it's kind of a back and forth, heavy blows in that fourth quarter. But we just got to start faster. Like I said, that the defense played great. So we got to play complementary football, kind of come out, out the gates better, and not put ourselves in stressful situations there at the end.
What do you guys see in Western Kentucky as you're preparing for them?
Yeah, another good team. Obviously this team was in the conference championship last year, and so looking at their defense, they're really good. They definitely give you a bunch of different looks. That'll be a challenge for us, and we're going to have to make great in-game adjustments. And a big front, great good linebackers, and a solid back end. And so they got guys with experience, got some good solid players, and so definitely a challenge for us. But making sure we're all on the same page and make sure we're ready to go on Saturday.
Does it just feel like you guys are still in contention of CSA? Like, how have y'all as a team really bounced back from UTSA and kind of looked at the bigger picture?
Yeah, obviously we definitely feel like we're in contention. Obviously this next game is obviously the biggest game, obviously because it's next. But we're both 3-1, and so it's an important game as far as conference standings. And so we just really have to go 1-0 each week to give ourselves the chance to play in the championship game. So we definitely feel like we're in contention. We definitely feel like we have a good football team, and so we just got to go prove it on Saturday and play our best.
I want to ask you a little bit about your tight ends, Varkees and Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys just coming up big for you this season.
Yeah, I think they've definitely grown. Especially from last year to this year, they've taken big strides. They're big bodies, guys that are in the box and can also run routes. And so they had a good guy to look out with Pirtle last year, that guy that really led them, and Jake's doing a great job in running routes and then teaching Varkees the tools of the trade that are passed down. And I think they're doing really good in the pass game and the run game. So. Whether it's a pass or a run, we're super confident in those guys to execute, and they're good big targets. So I love looking for them on the field too.
Is it unusual just to have two guys that are complete tight ends like that to work with?
No, it's great. When you can get guys that are big and physical like that, that can block but also can go out and run routes. Varkees can go up and get the ball, and Jake's a physical guy, so I feel like I can put on his body and he's going to make the catch. And so they got different talents, but they use them really well, and they're definitely guys I like to look for in situations. And so they keep doing their thing, and we'll be good.
Anything else?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Thanks, Austin.
Cool. Good to see you guys.
Last week was a little bit of a tough way to see that one end. How have you guys bounced back from that game?
Honestly, I feel like we've watched the film, learned from our mistakes and where we could grow on and get better. And I feel like we just put it behind us and get ready for the next week. Want to know next week.
Another tough opponent in WKU. What do you see out of them?
Western Kentucky is a great team. They're 3-1. Also, they played a real close game with UTSA. And I feel like they're a very pass-heavy team. They like to put it out there in the air. They have 4 good receivers, a quarterback who's also very good and can throw the ball. He has a nice arm on him. Their O-line is pretty big. Nothing that we haven't seen, though, so I feel like we can get after them under Coach Bennett's scheme.
You guys kind of view this as an elimination game for the conference title?
Do we view it as an elimination game?
You got to win this one. You got to keep winning here.
I mean, honestly, no. I just feel like we look at it as the next opponent. Being able to go 1-0 next week. It's my first time ever hearing anything about an elimination game, so
Yep.
you just put something in my mind to go harder. I'm gonna be honest.
Have to get some pressure on that quarterback to kind of knock him off his rhythm.
Oh yeah, we most definitely do. We gotta get in his face, put some pressure on him, get him uncomfortable. Can't have him comfortable in the pocket to be able to just throw it to his receivers, because those guys can get open. We just gotta help our back end by just putting pressure on the guy, closing his gaps.
Do you feel like UTSA was kind of a gauge game to kind of see where you are for the rest of the season?
Honestly, I feel like we knew where we was as a team, but I just feel like they showed us where we was lacking at. I would say that playing UTSA opened up Coach Bennett's eyes into what we should do, not what we should do going forward into the rest of our season.
What do you guys need to do to improve defensively, you think?
Honestly, I just feel like we just need to make routine plays that come to us, and I just think that we need to tackle better, honestly, as a team, and just continue to go hard no matter what, regardless of where we at, what position the offense put us in, what position that we just become in general.
One of the guys that's playing up there with you guys on the defensive line is Sifa Leota. Has he really helped you guys this year?
Oh, man. I think Sifa Leota helped us a lot. That's my guy. I feel like he gives Mason a good break, and he's a guy who has a high motor, a guy who doesn't stop, a guy who keeps going, a dude that's just relentless. It's like nothing's going to stop him. He's going to run to the ball. He's going to attack the quarterback. He's going to hit hard. He's going to do whatever he can to make a play. He's been a big help to us up front on the D-line.
Guys, he's not the biggest guy. Is it just the speed and quickness that helps with him?
He got speed, quickness, and you can't not overlook his power. The guy can put it on you. I've seen it with my own eyes in practice and one-on-ones. He can put it on you, for sure.
All right, well, that was good.
Good. Hey, no problem. Y'all guys have a great day.
Sean, so how have you guys bounced back from that game against UTSA?
You just got to keep moving forward. Everything that we want to do is still ahead of us, so you just got to learn from it, use it kind of as a motivation, and just keep moving forward.
Just what did you see on that last offensive play for UTSA from your perspective?
They scored a touchdown and we lost.
Fair enough.
So,
what do you see in Western Kentucky?
they're a really good team. Their quarterback is good. Receivers, all of them can adjust to the ball. They're good with the ball after the catch too, and then they run the ball well. It's going to be a little bit of a different scheme than we've seen, something the way they do stuff. But as long as we just adjust and get lined up and do our job, we'll be good.
So
What's different about the scheme?
Just some of the way that they do some of their quick game stuff is they give you a little bit more eye candy inside and stuff like that. So everybody just got to, like I said, just do their job and we'll be good to go.
Their quarterback, Austin Reed, has shown a pretty good ability to pass the rock this year. Just what makes him so difficult to defend?
Like I said, I think he's a good player, and he's also got good receivers too. I mean, we were looking at him today, and I think there's like 6 or 7 of them that caught at least 2 touchdowns this year. So, he can get the ball just about any of them, and they'll make a play for him. So that, and he's also a really good player that's played a lot of ball too. So he's kind of a smarter, older guy that, knows what he's doing out there and has that kind of veteran experience, whether it was, at Western Kentucky or his previous school too.
You played a couple of different spots in this defense this year and really seemed to be able to help along the way. Has it been an enjoyable year for you, just with how you've been able to contribute?
Yeah, I mean, I like to mix it up some. Like last week, it was fun to do something different. I mean, obviously, it would have been a lot more fun if the outcome would have been a little bit different. But I'm the type of guy that I'm not probably the best at something, but I'm pretty good at most things. So, and also I'm a smarter player that can understand the positions and kind of adapt on the fly, which kind of lets me play everything else. So I'm not going to blow you away with any athletic ability, but just playing really, really hard and knowing what spots to be in kind of gets me along.
Does your early conference success kind of give you a little more wiggle room and kind of cushion the blow against like a loss in a close game like this?
Not really. I mean, we're kind of in the same spot we were last year. Last year we wanted to make a bowl game. This year we want to go to the conference championship. I mean, with the way the conference is going and stuff, I mean, if we lose another game, probably not going to happen. So it's just, like I said, it's, last game gives us even more motivation just to go out and play the best we can. And then last time I talked, I just said, our mentality doesn't change no matter what our record is or who we're playing. We're going to go out we know who we are, and we feel like we have to prove that every week. Can't take anything for granted. So we're just going to keep working, keep preparing, and get after it.
Was this kind of why you came back for another year?
Yeah. Definitely so. I feel like we just had some unfinished business from last year, and I knew that this year that we would have a good team, and I trusted everybody and the coaches and stuff, and I kind of moved out here all the way to Texas from South Carolina, and I wanted to finish where I started and finish getting my degree and all that kind of good stuff. So there was a lot of different factors, but definitely I knew that this team had more to offer this team. This team definitely was going to have a good year this year. So.
Yeah, so you wanted to come back and get your degree this year? That was
right. Yeah. So I finished in December. So that was another thing too. Is if I would have not returned, then I would have been, I'd probably been 9 credits short or something like that. So I'd had a lot of school left, and that was important for me
to
finish.
What did you get your degree in?
I'm getting the MBA, and my focus is in health services management.
MBA.
Right. Yeah. So I did a little medical sales before I came here, so that's why I kind of chose the health services management part.
Oh, you did that before you?
Yeah. So when I graduated from the Citadel in December of 2020 and worked for a orthopedic medical sales company from January until end of January until the end of May, and I got here like June 6th, and then been at the Mean Green ever since.
So did you decide, hey, I want to go back to college football, or did you
yeah,
come back?
I graduated with 2 years of eligibility left, and I was it was eating at me. Because that was the COVID year where the FCS team played the spring. So every week I had to sit there and watch all my teammates play, every Saturday, and that was just something I couldn't. I just was like, I wanted to come back, just had that itch to come back, and North Texas gave me the opportunity, and it's been great for me so far. Got to play a lot of ball.
A little more fun than medical sales?
Yes. Medical sales is not a bad gig, though. You don't have to sit behind a desk all day. You get to watch surgery and do all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, definitely you can't beat playing ball. So.
Yeah, but, this has got to be a big difference from the Citadel. It seems like about as far away from the Citadel as you could possibly get as a military school. Come all the way out here to Texas at a huge public school. What's that been like for you to be in a different environment like that?
I just think it's funny when I tell my teammates now about what I used to do. I mean, I used to wake up every morning at 6:30, depending on the day. Sometimes 5:45. Get up, get dressed, go down, have a uniform inspection, formation, then have to go to breakfast, and then my classes. I had a class at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Or no, they had lunch at 12, and then I had a lab because I was a biology major from like 1 to 3, and then I had practice from 3 to 7, and then I went back to my room, and then we had like study time from like 7 to 11, and then I went to sleep and just did it every single day. So here, having been a morning's practice team and then going home to my apartment or townhouse afterwards is completely different for me, and not having to wear a uniform. I went on campus for the first time last year to get my ID. And just seeing all the different like kids and everybody not in uniform was kind of like a shocker for me. I was like, I don't know what I like better, to be honest with you. So it's definitely a different perspective, but I think it's a good experience to have. I think here I'm a lot more focused on football just because I don't have all that other stuff going on. I wouldn't say before I was not focused on football. It's just more of an emphasis for me here because I don't have to worry about everything else.
I mean, I imagine it made you more disciplined, though.
Yeah, I can definitely tell a difference between how the way I do things and think about things and some other people do. But another thing people don't realize about that structure is that you're forced to do that structure. So if you depend on the structure, then when you don't have it, you don't get anything out of it. So it's kind of like you have to not just take the structure and kind of build it into your own personal life, because if you just depend on someone making you do something all the time, then once they don't make you do it, then it's kind of like whatever, I don't have to do it anymore. So.
What was the thought originally? Were you thinking about going into the military when you ended up going to the Citadel?
No, so the Citadel is in Charleston. I was from Easley, which is about 3 hours apart, but my mom grew up in Charleston, and so she knew all about the Citadel. And I went on a visit there, and I remember telling one of my friends in like junior, I was like, I'm not going here. There's no way. But then, you talk to everybody, and when you graduate from the Citadel, especially in South Carolina, you gain a lot of respect from people. I mean, I know for me, the reason why I got that medical sales job is because my sales manager was a Citadel baseball graduate, and the team lead was also a Citadel baseball graduate, and then one of the other guys was a Citadel football graduate. So there's just a big network of Citadel guys that really like to take care of each other. And like you said, I kind of made the choice that I wanted to go and do something that was more meaningful than just going and doing a normal college. And also football wise, I had that offer and a preferred walk-on from South Carolina, and that was it, and a D2 offer. So that was kind of the best spot for me as far as who had a plan for me to actually play and not just kind of be a preferred walk-on guy and see what would happen. And yeah, it's kind of the best of all worlds. And it's not something I necessarily would want to go do again, but I would never change my choice.
Yeah. So, but you didn't quite finish at the Citadel. You needed to.
I graduated.
So you did graduate.
Yeah, so I just graduated early. I had 6 credits to take my senior year, and I was going to start grad school there, but then the COVID stuff happened, and so it kind of switched. Because like my senior year, the first semester, I took 6 hours that I had to have, and I just took 6 other hours just so I could be eligible. But I really intended on taking half grad school, half undergrad. But it kind of got changed up because of COVID, and I didn't really know it was going to happen, so I didn't want to start all that grad school stuff.
That makes sense. Did it kind of work out in and up here? You're happy with that?
Yeah, I definitely think it worked out. And like I said, it's been a really good experience to come out here. It's, for me, a lot of times when I was in high school, a lot of people told me I couldn't play like at this level. And so being able to come and be able to play is kind of a thing I've always wanted to do to kind of, show myself and show everybody that, I'm able to do it. So it's been a really good experience for me, and I met a lot of good people and a lot of good coaches. So I'm definitely pleased with my experience.
All right, cool. Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.